1051.
Pal 1051 is the Breakfast Club. And we have our Haitian brother.
You didn't wear the Speedo.
No, I did.
He did not wear the Speedo.
They told me you were going to wear the Speedo.
Well, I mean, what I did, I was listening to you, and I saw I got Donkey of the Day.
Absolutely.
But the week before.
You earned Donkey of the Day.
The week before.
I earned Donkey of the Day for the Speedos, you know, so.
Do you regret that decision?
First of all, right, the pick with the Speedos, just so you clear on that, that's an old pick. I'm part of a bike club, right? Mm-hmm. And I do
bike clubs wear leather jackets, Clef, not Speedos.
Yeah, no. Wyclef Bike Club wear Speedos. Right? So the Wyclef Bike Club wore Speedos at the time. That's actually an old photo shoot. And those photos are actually up on Facebook or Instagram. Mm-hmm. This comes from an old photo shoot shot that I was doing.
Now, Clef, you tweeted, I turned 43 today, and I look and feel 26.
That's right. You said what I tweeted, but the picture that you're looking at, if you look at my Instagram, you would have been seen that picture. You're not following me on Instagram. If you look at my Facebook, this is an actual photo shoot for a company in Italy. So I said that I turned 43, I feel 26 based on that photo shoot that I had did.
So what you're telling us is it's a bunch of grown men that wear Speedos and oil the top half of their body and ride bikes?
No. I'm telling you, I'm telling you when I did the photo shoot, so that you clear, right? The Twitter that I have has a certain amount of followers, right? Millions of people, right? My Instagram is the same. My Facebook is the same, right? I have what's called photo shoots that I do throughout the entire year, not just in America, in Europe, and all over. So I want to be clear with you, the oil that you see that's on my body and the grease that you see and the 14 pack that you see and the whole build and the Ducati and the ashy leg that you see.
Why didn't you grease the bottom?
No. I didn't want to grease the bottom on purpose, man. That's what I do.
You slip off the bike.
No. You know, and then you know what? If you actually, you probably not looking, because if you look on my Facebook, you'll see similar pictures, man, before that. So when you're saying to me, though, do I regret, right? You have to understand, right? At 43, right, to look the way I look and to feel the way I feel, right? It's incredible. So at the end of the day, right, we live and we die. What's going to matter is what we do in that space in the middle. So everything that I do, I'm happy for what I do. I'm not really, keep in mind, I'm the one that tweeted, I'm 43, I feel 26. You understand? I'm the one that did the photo shoot. So I don't regret anything, you know?
So you're still still in that condition now. You still look that same way as you did in that picture from whenever.
I'ma always look like this.
What do you have on under the sweatpants?
How you asking me what do I have on under the sweatpants?
You showed it.
You want to see what I have
no.
on under the
No, please don't. No. Oh my God.
You asking me what I got under the sweatpants? I show you. This is what I have under the sweatpants. You ask, I show.
Oh my goodness.
Excuse me, sister.
Okay.
Awkward.
And you be the guard. You the guard, and you asking what's under my sweatpants.
You showed us.
Well, nah, man. I'm show you what's under my sweatpants, man.
So it's not a hip hop midlife crisis you're going through.
I did you notice that I tweeted? Notice on my Twitter, right? There's a problem here, right? The problem is, as serious as I am, right? You just saw I saw a Mano. I'm a clown. I love the humor of what I do is what's funny. Keep in mind, I'm retweeting. I put the picture up, right? And then I'm retweeting everything about the picture. I retweet when
you didn't retweet none of my good jokes. I had some good ones.
I retweet the midlife crisis one.
No, I said text Yele the 501 to get this pic removed from the internet.
No, I didn't get that one.
He probably had a whole lot of tweets coming through. Sometimes
he know I got a lot of tweets coming through.
Now, can we talk about your book for a second? Purpose, Wyclef Jean, an immigrant story. What made you decide to finally put this book out? And you really did tell a lot of very personal things that most people don't do when they put out an autobiography.
Now, you put you in the whole Hall of Fame because of that book.
You were definitely in the Hall of Fame.
You know, the first part of this story that I like to say is, I apologize to my wife. Like, I always say this first before I even get into this, because understand, in the process of writing this autobiography of myself, you know, there was stuff that she probably was supposed to see before the book came out. You feel me?
Oh, damn.
So you didn't tell her? What was
Understand. Once again, I'm telling y'all the story, just like the Speedo. I'm putting it out there for you. So, right? And it's crazy because she, after reading the book, she wrote a chapter. Like, she wrote her own chapter that I told her, give me the chapter because I'm going to post her chapter up. And it's called, I think, a strong woman or a wife behind a cheating husband at the time. So she wrote her chapter, you feel me? So I ran for president.
Which you can never do again after putting out that picture of...
Actually, you see who the president of my country is?
Nah, who did get elected?
First of all, if Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor...
That's true.
Come on.
He used to wear Speedos too and oil the top half of his body. Yeah.
And he had a baby with the maid.
Look, I got a chance to be governor if I want. Feel me? Okay.
True.
All right, cool. And so you throwing me off. So listen, after I ran for president, there was a time where I was like, I had a book situation with publishers already because I have 7 books that I'm writing. This is the first of 7. The idea is, when do you put the book out? Which is more, because if you have to deal with the publisher, then you got to figure out, okay, what's the time that I'm going to put the book out? So I didn't time when the book was coming out. I did the deal with the publishers, and they put the time of when the book was coming out. And I knew with the book, the most important thing is when I'm reading books and I'm on a plane, I'm more like to just listen to the audio version. And I'm always intrigued by the first 2 or 3 chapters of a book, deciding if it's going to keep my attention. And what I've learned is nothing's really a secret, right? If you, and God knows it's a secret, but if you and more than 100 people know it, that means eventually, think about like when we look at the internet now, or we look at movies coming out. I even was watching a movie on Marilyn Monroe, and it wasn't even the main dude. It was like some intern saying, well, when she hang out with me for a day, this is what happened. So eventually there'll be different Fuji stories coming out that are not Fuji's in the next 50 years. I guarantee you that. So it was just important for me to lay the autobiography beyond the Fuji Fire chapter, which is a chapter. The book starts off with me in the earthquake in Haiti, and it finishes with making it in America. So the idea is when kids read this book, I just want them, because you got kids right now that are working in fast food restaurants. You got kids right now cleaning the bathrooms. You got kids in the projects right now complaining because they want a new pair of sneakers. So when dudes is reading, yo, Wyclef ate dirt. He used to really ride a donkey to school. You know what I mean? Even though I got donkey of the day. Like,
that you deserved.
That I deserved. You know what I mean?
It looks like a greasy piece of grill on that picture, Wyclef.
No, you know, for those who don't know what griot is pig. Charlamagne, I want to be clear with you, man. I do not look like a pig on that picture.
I didn't say you look like a pig. I just said you look like the cooked meat.
You got, no, I'm just saying, like, you know, this is...
It was cooked. I'm not talking about the raw pig.
You know what, man? I'm done with this interview, man. I figure I'd take a moment.
Nobody believes you. You guys, nobody believes that you was walking out.
So look.
You've been in this game too long.
So listen, in the pic, actually, I didn't look like a piece of griot. I look like a piece of griot, cabrit, and bouillique. Just so you know. So that's
like
the
you
pig.
Listen,
that's the pig. That's the goat, and that's the
donkey. You could be the new Old Spice man. You look like you should have been on the beach riding a commercial. No, I didn't do that.
Somebody put me up on the horse.
I see him on the dog field.
I saw you.
But he looked like he should have been on the beach riding a white horse backwards.
Right, let's get back to the book. Now the Lauryn Hill part.
Now I can't. Yeah, as a man,
Fuji Fire.
The Fuji Fire.
Okay.
How could you be mad at Lauryn Hill when you were married?
Yes.
Well, the first thing is, right, including you and including you. Right? So if we are to talk as men and we are really to expose each other's personal deepness, right? If we was just to have a conversation as men, as if we're not on the radio, right? I do not pin myself as the only man in existence that was doing what I was doing at the time.
Absolutely
not. What I did was, though, I pinned myself as, if you read the story, I don't diss the Fujis once if you read the entire chapter. At the time, you have what's called, I call it like the Caesar complex. Because you're like, you know, you're 22, 23, you know, you feel at the time, the whole idea with that chapter is karma. Meaning like you have to be careful what happens to you. So if a young Clef is reading this chapter, he's like, yo, Clef was wilding in this chapter. You know, I'm in a group. I ain't gonna let this situation happen to me. So keep in mind that I'm taking you back to a frame of mind that I was at the time. Now, was it selfish of me to do such a thing at the time? And who am I to be like, you know, I have the African king complex. I'm entitled to all these women, and these
I
women
believe in
can't do-"
polygamy, though. I absolutely do.
Yeah. But I feel you. But in my situation and how I'm writing it, right, to what you was asking, I felt that at the time, you hit the question. You was like, yo, how do you feel like you entitled to just this when it's, you know, you're the one that was in the wrong.
Right.
That's the whole point. That's why I'm showing you the chapter. I'm saying if a young Clef is reading this, or a young Envy, I want them to be like, yo, I'm not gonna let this happen to me. And that's the whole purpose of the Fuji Fire chapter. And be clear, when someone reads a book, automatically, you know, the only thing that I don't feel is fair to my book is the actual book as a whole is an incredible book. It's an incredible read. But automatically people go to 2 or 3 lines and blur it and say, this is what the book's about. The entire book is not about that, man. It's a straight up immigrant story.
But you know, as a man, if we was having a conversation not on the radio, I would say, Clef, that's lame to air Lauren out like that. 20 years later, why put her business out there like that? She got kids. Her kids are going to look back and be like,
I don't know if that was, but you know what?
Sleeping with a married woman.
What you said earlier, I don't know if that was really a big secret. I do believe because when she was pregnant, she wasn't really revealing.
But nobody knew. I mean, it's speculation. But you know,
but to your point though, right? If we could be honest about the situation, right? Notice when we start this conversation, right, that the first thing is, if you read the thing to its entirety, right? What I want you to understand is the only thing that's a secret, right, is if me and you know it, right? And what I've learned through my 20 years time of being in the industry, I came in when I was like 17, 18 years old, is eventually what will happen is people will come out, whether if I told you this story or you read it from a book with somebody that happened to be there in the era, right? Then what you would say is, damn, like I didn't know it was going down like that. Then you would look for me now and say, yo, Clef, what really happened? Because I read this story. Because understand, like I told you, the only thing that's a secret is if only me and God knows it. And keep in mind, right, so my timing of my book was never based on the kids. So be clear. So it's like at the end of the day, I have kids. So it's not the issue of, I want to be clear with you is, oh, I'm out here to expose, because I'm very careful. But keep in mind, if you're reading an entire book and you decide that you're going to make the book about one paragraph, then I can't tell you what to do. But if you read it in its entirety, you can say, man, look, man, as a man, look at this chapter. Why did you expose this chapter like that? And the reason I'm telling you I exposed it like that is because it's not a secret, number one. And number two, stories are always told, when it's not told from the main people, it's always tainted in a form where you have to make your version of history. Come on, how many books that we read back in the days, and now when we look at them, we comparing them to real history, and we like, this was a lie, that was a lie, this was a lie. Right. So it was important, it's an autobiography.
So when did you grow up and say, you know what, I'm gonna stop? Because a couple of years ago, there was another picture that said that surfaced. I think it was your manager at the time.
Yeah, but keep in mind, right?
He wasn't in the Speedo, though.
Yeah, I wasn't in the Speedo. But keep in mind, right, once again, right, if you read my book in its entirety, right, and as a man, right, I never paint a picture that I'm ever perfect, right? I always show you a picture of saying, if I make a mistake, I've made a mistake, I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to handle it. So, because keep in mind, right, if you follow the Wyclef doctrine, right, and you really listening, every 2 dude that's listening right now, they on the creep. It's a matter of time. Like,
absolutely,
it's a matter of time when it's going to blow up in your face. But the idea is like, can you go past that responsibility and deal with it? So meaning like, beyond that, you got to understand, the girl that I chose to be with and said that this woman going to be my wife, right? The girl that I chose to be with, the girl that chose to be with me, this is before the hype.
Right.
This is in the hood. You know what I mean? This is like Newark, New Jersey. This is like we kids holding hands leaving the hood, going to the rich section, playing "This is my house and this is your house." So for me, at the end of the day, stability is the most important thing. Because guess what? As the entertainment world that I'm in, the snap of my finger, it's not a thing that, exactly, it could be gone. But the snap of my finger, it's not a thing that I want, that you can't get. So you pick up the phone, it's Mr. Jean, Mr. Jean, Mr. Jean, this. So the idea, though, is not, because you notice when an artist don't say something and then you figure it out before the artist, and then there's a whole facade of an image which is painted on the artist, it makes you look at them different. With Clef, I mean, you was at my show. It's like what you see is what you get. And whether if it's serious or whether if I'm not taking myself serious, at the end of the day, it's important that I feel good inside at the end of the day.
I've always respected you. You know, I've always respected what you stood for. But I just don't understand why you would blow Lauryn Hill's spot up now. Because if she'd have stood up at your wedding and said, hey, we've been having sex, you'd have looked at her like, what the hell are you doing? But listen what
you said, though, Charlamagne. You said you don't understand why I would blow up Lauryn Hill's spot right now. Once again, I'm telling you that I am not blowing Lauryn Hill's spot up right now. The book was publishers, right? You do a deal with a publisher. The book is scheduled to come out at a certain time. The chapter that you're referring again, once again, is called the Fuji chapter, which is a very small part of what my book is, right? In the course of history, long after us, 100 years when we all turn to dust, right? I really don't think the relevancy of this book is going to be based on me blowing up Lauryn's spot. I think the relevancy of Wyclef Jean legacy is going to be based on the fact that it was an immigrant story. So I just want to be clear with you. So you are entitled to feel like that, but if you read my book as a whole, you'll be like, okay, I fully understand where he was coming from.
Do you think you're responsible for Lauryn going crazy?
No, I don't think that I'm responsible for Lauryn. First of all, I don't think Lauryn's crazy. I clearly said that. No. I clearly said that. If y'all follow historically what I've said, I just felt personally that there was a situation where I felt that she was bipolar. I didn't feel like, I know people that's crazy, but I also have seen syndromes of people that I feel one day they're a certain way, another day they're a certain way. And that was more of what I expressed, right? Now keep in mind what we're talking about here. If at one time this was what it was with me and her, like what? As many years ago it was. After I left, somebody else came in the picture. So at the end of the day, I don't feel that the idea of what she's going through, how she feels like, I'm not that powerful, where it's like I'm the one that created this whole situation of her going crazy.
Well, I just want to say, I mean, I understand what you're saying, because yes, it's true. Like, we've heard a lot of rumors about what happened. I think a lot of it, I lived in Jersey, you know, for a period of time. I went to school with Lauryn.
Okay, you went to Columbia.
Yeah, I went to Columbia and everything. So I remember that during the time period when all that was happening, and there was a lot of speculation, you know, that you two guys were dating. So I think in the book it is very brave to put out your side of the story of what really happened, what really went down. I remember when she was pregnant, nobody knew, you know, she didn't want people to know who the father was. And then there was speculation, well, maybe she doesn't know for sure, you know, because she's not putting it out there. So it was good to read it from your point of view. I did hear that she has done a song addressing the whole situation that's coming at you or something like that.
Well,
recently.
That would be great, because you know what that does? Psychologically, it's good for therapy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that would be great. So the idea of the fact that she would be doing music and actually could be focused energy towards something.
Her music hasn't been too good recently, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, so first of all, with music, it's two parts to it, right? So I think one for me, it has to be a trust in the studio, right? So thank you so much. So for me, it has to be a trust in the studio. So I'm a producer. I'm a composer. The first thing I do when I go into the studio, whether if it's Shakira, whether if I went in with Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, the first thing I say to an artist is I say, are you going to be able to trust me? Meaning, like, so as a producer, the first thing you got to do is, because it's a big thing. Right. If you say, I'm going to put my career in your hands, because you basically, like, You know, it's like when I was doing it with Shakira, she's like, okay, I know you got me. You know, when I wrote My Love for Whitney Houston, it's a brave thing for an artist to do that. So I even think, like, you know, after we did the Dave Chappelle block party, remember everyone was trying to get us together, they couldn't do it. We did the Dave Chappelle block party. I really felt like we had a shot, but I felt like the shot would have been based on, you know, can the trust factor be there? You know what I'm saying? So once again, I think vocally, she's incredible. I just think
Not anymore.
vocally, once again, vocally, at the time she's incredible, right? Vocally right now, she can get back to where she got to. It's, you know, because at the end of the day, right, if you look at the course of history, we've had great artists with great vocals that have been through situations. I feel that if she focuses, she can get back to where she was at. I think musically, once again, production-wise, you always got to stay with the pulse of what's going on. And I think for me, as a lover of music, that's always been a natural passion. Shalimar the God, once again, right? You said who took the picture. Chip took the picture. No, I'm kidding. Chip said, I ain't take that picture. I wasn't there. I was nowhere there. The picture was took by a photographer that was part of a photo shoot. And there's tons of pictures that are like that, you know. And actually, there's gonna be a calendar.
No.
There's a calendar?
No. Stop.
A calendar?
Stop right now, Clef. Stop.
Yeah, there is a calendar in the
man.
future.
Stop it. Stop. Stop it.
I'm not gonna lie.
No.
So you're not gonna pick it up?
No, man.
All right,
you
good,
look.
all right.
Come on now. You starting to act like an urban model now.
Yeah. No,
you're like
I'm just
Superhead.
making
You got
sure.
the Lauryn Hill.
I'm telling you, but this
airing
what I'm
people
saying,
out that
though.
you had sex with. You doing photo shoots. Like
Look,
you're straight stunting. No, now,
Listen,
Clef.
listen.
Stop it. Now.
The guard.
You are a legend. Stop it.
I got you, but the calendar's already been done.
No, Clef. No.
The calendar's a year in the
Clef, you're a
making.
legend. Stop it.
And you know, and photographer in the bottom of the calendar, it says Chip from Queens.
Oh man, Chip. Chip cannot come back to Queens now.
Chip, your shirt say real drum. Please talk to Clef, man. Clef.
Hey, no cursing on the radio.
Oh man. So what about you with music? Now I went to your show the other night, and I was surprised to see you still. I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised by the picture, but you were still jumping, running, flipping. Like it was like, I was like, what? I was like,
He told you feel 26.
I know. I was like, Clef is 46. We gonna have a heart attack on stage.
Hey, not 46, 43.
43.
No, 43. Yeah.
Slow down.
Clef was flipping and jumping. I said, oh man, Clef gonna die up there. But he put on a great show, and I was surprised.
You were
Like,
surprised.
look at me like that.
First of all, I want you to understand something. In the hood, no, y'all niggas- yo, I was Kung Fu Joe in the hood, you know? Like, shout out to the bartenders, by the way. You know, physical fitness has always been part of my natural, and I'm just saying, like, because when you come from Haiti, you in the projects, you don't have much, right? So you have to make of what you have. So I just want to be clear with you. You came to my show, you know, and you see me flying around and doing the same thing. Like you go to the gym with me and you put on your mats and your headband, I'm gonna come at you the same way because it's physically right is what we have. The only thing I learned is the most important thing was we got to maintain our health.
I can tell you don't work out your legs though. You got a real prison build, like big up top, ashy and skinny at the bottom.
You know what, Shalimar, you really examined that picture.
I did.
behind
That hurt
him.
my
He
did.
feelings.
It's right there.
Because first of all, because I had to blow. I was like, that's not
Shalimar.
Clef. I said, that's not Clef. When I first saw it, I said, that's not
Shalimar,
Clef.
you really examined that picture, man. You really examined
I
that
thought it was
picture.
Photoshop. I said, that ain't Clef. I said, there's no way that is the legendary Wyclef.
Yeah, it's the legend, definitely.
On a bike with matching speedos.
Yes,
that
yes.
match the bike.
Back to
Ducati.
music.
Yes, sir.
Are you doing another project? You doing another album?
So first of all, to music. The first thing is, after politics, I decided that I would get back into music in a very unique way, though. I have a small label with my brother, which is called All Hands on Deck. We want to be considered
Your brother
the
being?
Sadek.
Okay.
Right? We want to be considered the label in the middle. And what that means is if you look at everything right now musically, it's either on YouTube or it's coming on a major label.
Right.
The major labels are lazy.
Right.
So they not doing what they did when we was coming
They're
up.
not A&R.
Yeah, but the A&R factor is, this is why we can have this conversation, is because that space in the middle. Because the economically, the banks in Europe are going down, so the money that the majors used to get, they don't get that. So we're focused on the space in the middle. I have an artist by the name of Jarena DeMarco, half Dominican, half Brazilian. An artist by the name of Trini. Trini is originally from Trinidad, BK. There's an artist I'm working with right now named Chris Cab, Cuban background. He sounds Sting. He sounds like a Sting and Marley. So my thing is, where's the next Erykah Badu's, right? Where's the next Destiny Childs, the next Shakira's, the next Fuji's,
The next prize.
the next prize?
No, you might check him. I don't care about no next prize.
That's my man. The space in the middle is very important. So we're working on that. My next project album is called A Refugee Republic. And the Refugee Republic is just basically going to be based on the Republic. The album probably going to be 4 languages, you know. We need the crazy Cubano rhythms and all of that. So we
still a lot
started.
of money in music for you?
Well, keep in mind, he said that there's a lot of money in publishing for me. So keep in mind that you have to, when you see me, you can't say, oh man, you know. So if a CD don't sell and that's what I had to depend on, then I would be messed up right now.
Did you ever become broke?
Huh?
Did you ever become broke at all?
Thank God I
Because one time you was OD Clef, like cars,
But keep in mind,
Stupid.
but keep in
Matching
mind,
bikes.
but keep in mind, right? First of all, I'm Haitian, right? And one thing you learn being Haitian is, I learned that from my grandma. There's always a socks that you put away, and that socks don't exist, right? That socks don't exist, right? So keep in mind, right? Everything that you see me with, still till you see me with my Ducati, my homes, and everything, right? I've never, and I will never be in a situation, fam, where I came to America and I don't have a bank that, you know, at the end of the day, my daughter is all right for the rest of her life. And the kids that she have is all right for the rest of her life. So for me, that's what matters. But keep in mind, when you was like, yo, there's a time that you wildin', right? Everything that I ever bought, from an F1 McLaren on down, right? In my headset, I wasn't buying a Lamborghini. So if I ever wanted to sell the McLaren, I knew the worth of the McLaren and what I would get to the McLaren, right? But what we have had, right, is tax issues, right? So tax issues is something which is real, because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie to you, we musicians, actors, actresses, you know, we love making a lot of money. And at the end of the day, we go like, yo, you know, I would have even said the worst situation that I've ever been through with a tax situation, and this is important so people understand that, is when I was running for president. And then remember, the IRS was like, yo, this boy look like he's going back to here to, you know, you owe us, I think it was 2 point something. Now, keep in mind, I had to turn around and write a check. I didn't tell you I had to, so, which means like at the end of the day, you know, I had to go to the well and say, yo, I'm gonna write this 2 point something, but it's because of the fact that I was able to understand my grandmother's doctrine, where you have to make sure that you're saving some in that sense.
Now, what about Yale?
Yeah, do the accusations of you know, I guess stealing money?
Did y'all read our response to the New York Times?
That you weren't involved with.
Yeah, man, we have the response, and it's important that y'all read the response, because what we did was, Ulock, who was running the foundation at the time, he responded to everything with every point they made. We said that's not what happened. This is exactly what happened. But now this is the real question. I came 96 with a Haitian flag on my back when it wasn't cool to be Haitian.
Right, not at all.
Right? People looking at the Grammys, they like, yo, what's this? I remember being at the Grammys and backstage, and I said, I'm not going on without my Haitian flag. So I brought the Fugees to Haiti in 1997. In 1997, I saw the struggle of what was going on in my country. 2005, I started Yele. This is no earthquake. I started Yele. I was bringing Angelina Jolie. I was following it. I was bringing everybody to Haiti. I remember. Because for me, it wasn't about, I wanted them to see Haiti like they saw Jamaica, like fly. Meaning like, okay, you know, we got Port-au-Prince, we be getting busy with the Uzis and all that, but we also got our version of Montego Bay, which is Jacmel, showing people the two sides of the country, right? Scholarships for kids, when I tell you the amount of scholarships that we gave through, real talk, right? This is the real talk. When we went back to Haiti in 2005, Aristide was leaving. The gangs were in control. If you look online, look at a documentary which is called The Ghost of Cité Soleil. It's about the gangs in Cité Soleil at the time that were taking hip-hop names. Look at this online. There was a kid by the name of Haitian Tupac. He named himself after Tupac. You have 50 Cent. These was the gangs like the favelas when you watching City of Gods. I get a backpack. My cousin Jerry Wonder, my man Seth, I said, we going to Haiti to talk to these kids because there was like the only one they'll listen to is Clef at the time. When I went to Haiti, the NGOs was having problems. When they was bringing their trucks in the slums, they was getting carjacked and they couldn't bring the food into the slums. I went with my crew and told these NGOs at the time, because I didn't know what the World Food Program, I said, let us bring the food for y'all in the slums. They was like, no, y'all can't do that. And at the time, they got a warehouse full of rice. So we went to the Dominican Republic, fam, with my money. We purchased rice. We purchased pasta. We had a videotape. ULOC videotape. ULOC went in the hood. We took all this food, and after we taped that, we showed the World Food Program is safe. Then they all started tagging Yele stickers to their trucks getting inside of the hood. So when you go from there to 2000 and when the earthquake happened, the minute the earthquake happened, I said, Yele 501, 501. The reason why y'all gave y'all money is because y'all like, this dude is that dude. Right. Like, he's not the dude that's doing this now. This is what the dude been doing ever since we've been following him all his life. But keep in mind, if Yele raised $16 million at the time and the Red Cross raised $250 million and you have over billions of dollars that goes in aid, why every couple of months the only foundation that they keep coming back is to Yele? After I was on Oprah and I explained the situation and said, look, at the end of the day, right, governance is important. So I said, okay, we got better accountants. This is the situation. And like I said, the reality of it is this was not a celebrity charity for me because y'all seen how I started it. So when someone accuses me as Wyclef Jean of saying that, you know, I took my charity money and basically used my charity money for my personal interest, naturally that hurts, right? But when it hurts though, what I did was I go back and I Google Martin Luther King. And I look at what reporters and magazines were saying about him when he was alive. And I based it off, I look at Malcolm X and I see what really goes on. Then at the end of the day, I smile again because I said, my hands is clean, so I'm not going through anything that is that I can't handle.
So where is the money raised from Yele for the earthquake?
The paper that we showed, which is stated, right, we show exactly, fam, where every dollar went in a sense for the earthquake. So we're going to get you our response. And all I ask is that y'all put up the response on your website so now people could see the New York Times and then they could say, okay, this was Yele's response. Now keep in mind, everything that they keep saying is stuff that they keep repeating over and over again every couple of months. So from the relief of the tent camps, from giving food to people, let me tell you, and this is real talk, Yele, at the time of the earthquake, we were like the first organization that gave hot food to people. Do you know why? Because I was looking at CNN and I saw on a plane that they was throwing food from the air. And then mad people scrapping the food like animals. And I said, yo, my Haitian people ain't animals. We was the first organization to start giving hot meals. So the thing is, in a non-emotional way, right? The proof is in the pudding. So we just ask that y'all print up on your website our response with numbers on it. So when you're looking at it, you say, okay, I see this is where that money went and that money went. You know?
You got to trick people into reading, though. You got to post a link with that picture and say, my response to this picture. I'm serious.
You're right about that, man.
Well, Clef, we appreciate you coming after all the slander.
What slander? Wasn't slander, it was truth.
What slander?
Well, you had Home Appreciation, you were Donkey
slander?
of the Day.
No. But at the end of the day, I mean, my friends that know me know I live with the biggest sense of humor at the end of the day, because if I put something up, right, I'm either trying to get a reaction or people to talk, you know?
Who was your first close friend that called you and said, yo, you look ridiculous in that Speedo with your body half oiled and half ashy?
None of my friends called me.
You don't have
because,
real friends.
Look. You know why none of my friends called me? Once again, I'm gonna tell you, Shalimar
They've
the
seen
God.
already.
This picture, Shalimar, was pictures that already.
Clef.
Charlemagne. This
I
picture.
thought he was doing it on purpose.
Charlemagne. I call him Shalimar. This picture was pictures that once again was already out there, and so friends knew the situation. And I want to be clear with you. It was from a photo shoot. Now, if you saying to me, look, Clef, at the end of the day, I don't want to see another one of these pictures.
Yeah,
out there,
that's what
Clef.
I'm saying to you, Clef. That's what
but-
we're saying to you collectively.
Okay, but
No,
what
I didn't say that.
We don't want to see our legends in Speedos.
I didn't say that.
The only legend I want to see in a Speedo is Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
Well, that's different.
yeah,
they're
that's
wrestlers.
different. I don't want to
Yeah.
see them in a speedo.
Me neither.
Now, they said they don't want to see it. I never said that.
And they got a
Okay.
calendar coming up, so you're gonna see it for a little bit longer.
Okay, so
And
I-
he wears tighty whitey, so
yeah, but I had a great time, and
Appreciate
thank
you,
y'all.
Clef.
I'm just
And
trying to
then-
figure out how you go from being a refugee to wearing Speedos. That's when you know you're making a lot of money.
No, but listen, the original refugee, right? Him no wear speedos, right? Before speedos, remember what them Africans used to wear?
I don't know, Clef.
I know, but you.
I think the
He was gonna
like
make
the
something-
the
Nothing.
feathers, not feathers like
Feathers.
Okay.
Branches,
Yeah.
trees.
Okay, the branches, the trees. So at the end of the day, right? 50 years from now, I'll be looking at this laughing, right? And I got y'all to talk. I got a chance to come on the show and
You
had
could've
a
came on the
great
show
time.
anyway.
Okay, well, yo, why, Clef? You don't need
Yeah. No, I got a chance to just, I'm saying, but it's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I came to the show. Envy came to the show. Hopefully we'll get y'all down at the show. And I have an announcement.
Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
So, in 6 months
Mhm.
to 9 months, I will be opening
Mm-hmm.
my own place in New York City.
Club?
Restaurant?
It will be a mixture of all. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because back in the days we had like the original Copacabana,
Right.
and I feel that we can use a spot in New York
Mm-hmm.
that has culture, where it's DJ culture, it's band culture, it's lounge culture, it's vibe, where it's an eclectic vibe. So I'm just letting y'all know in advance. So we'll have international night where all cultures share. So I look forward to seeing y'all.
That's nice. I love
with
that.
food,
dope.
with music and vibe.
That's
So-
exciting.
And it's gonna be called the Refugee Lounge.
Dope.
That's
So-
awesome. You know where it's going to be?
It will be in Manhattan right now. We're negotiating, and
I'm
I'm
gonna get Pra the job.
no Prize is doing his thing and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna
Let him bartend or something.
Shut up.
you know, man, you are something else.
It's the Breakfast Club. It's Power 105 on his Wyclef.